blockchain development accessible for everyone, and I'm really excited that we were able to do that for all the attendees here today. I can't thank you enough for being here. But I'm going to try. Last year we started a tradition of giving you something to thank you for coming to this conference and for using Truffle and all of the great work that you're doing in order to help us. And with that, I would like to ask the volunteers to bring out the chocolate truffles. Alright, so that's probably my favorite moment of the conference. As you can imagine, as Truffle, we buy so much chocolate. Thank you very much. So, what's today about? I get the opportunity to stand up here in front of you today to tell you about all of the successes and all of the things that Truffle has done over the last year. As some of you know, Truffle was born in consensus. We got our start there, building on Ethereum. If you don't know, consensus is one of the largest, or the largest, Ethereum incubator and capital firm in the world. Now, working at Consensus has changed my career completely to the point where I'm now on stage talking to all of you here in the audience about a project that I started in my office 4 years ago. It's mind-blowing. It's crazy. Now, of course, everything you're going to see today wouldn't happen without the amazing Truffle team. Those are the people that's behind all the work that we've done and made Truffle what it is today. But it's fair to say that we wouldn't be here without Consensus. So we love Consensus. Now, you got the chocolate truffles. You see what we're doing with chocolate. We love this branding. And I don't know if it was a coincidence or our lawyers somehow made this happen, but when we graduated from Consensus, that's what we like to call it, when we spun out as our own company, we actually signed the papers on February 14th of this year. Valentine's Day. Valentine's Day is the day where chocolate is given out the most. I mean, you can't plan something like this. Now, okay, you can plan something like this. There's a calendar. It's actually easy to do. I did the math, though. I looked up I did some research, and the week before TruffleCon, the week before Valentine's Day, 58 million pounds of chocolate are purchased in order to be given on that day. So, what I get to do today is talk about all of the successes of our team over the last year. And I want to start with downloads. Downloads is the metric that we use to most easily track how well we're doing and how many, roughly estimate how many users are using our tools. At DevCon 4 last year in November, we announced that Truffle itself hit 1 million downloads. In last month, July of this year, Truffle just passed 2 million downloads. That means in 4 years it took us to get the first million, and in 8 months we doubled that. Now, if you take our whole suite combined, that's over 3.5 million downloads of all of our tools together. That's huge. It's amazing. Thank you. So, we've been doing a lot of work. We released Truffle 5. Since Truffle 5 was released early this year, we've had 76 different releases of Truffle. We're really working on our engineering processes to give you the latest features as quickly as possible. And now we're on a 25-week release streak. Literally, we are releasing Truffle every week. This is huge. Like half a year, we have gone without breaking that streak, and we don't plan on breaking it anytime soon. If you look on GitHub, 9,846, almost 10,000 projects depend on Truffle, officially depend on it, have it marked inside their project. But there are over 30,000 identifiable Truffle projects on GitHub alone. And these are just the public projects. There's tons of private projects we don't know about. Over the last year, we released Ganache 2.0. This is the GUI version, the graphical user interface. This version allows you to see your contracts and really inspect the data that's going on. This was huge for developers, especially new developers who are trying to better understand what's going on in the background. What's going on, you open that black box. We have over 10,000 monthly active users of Ganache. That's amazing for us. These, by the way, are the users that only want to tell us they're using it. You have to opt into tracking. We don't want to track on purpose. Over the last year, we kicked off Truffle University. We kicked this off at TruffleCon 2018. And since then, we've had over 1,000 students sign up to be part of Truffle University. We have secured over 50 placement partners. Now, what this means, we don't just want to train people. We want to make sure that by the end of their training, they land at a company working in the blockchain space. And so we've secured over 50 placement partners to make sure those students do that. This is something that no other training program that we know of in the blockchain space has done. Thank you. Now, Wes McVeigh, VP of Partnerships and head of Truffle University, is going to tell you more about this. I'd also like to talk about what we've done for Ethereum. I want to share a story with you. So we started Ethereum. We love Ethereum, and we are continuing to support Ethereum as much as we can, and trying to work really hard with the community. We noticed that Web3.js had an issue. We depend so heavily on it. We're such a huge user that we wanted to make sure that it was a stable project and was managed the right way and was able to mature. Now, as one of the large users of Web3, even though we're one of the large users, we're not the only one. What we had to do in order to support Web3, in order to get it to become the mature application it is get all of the important stakeholders from other tooling, from other tools, into what we did is we brought them onto our own turf, into our Slack, to try to help figure out how to make this a mature library. We actually invited Open Zeppelin, Nomic Labs, Embark, and the Ethereum Foundation all in, and we helped facilitate that. This is a huge deal. This is perhaps getting Web3 1.0 to a stable release was one of the biggest things we've done for the Ethereum community. I can't release any information now, but we're also working with the Ethereum Foundation to help build their tooling curriculum, their tooling roadmap, and we're likely going to participate in future grants. I can't wait to tell you about those things. So, last year, we got on stage and we told you about our multi-ledger strategy. We had a vision. We told you our vision was to work with other chains, with enterprise chains, with other developers who needed tooling for their blockchains. And we actually brought Brian Bellendorf, the executive director,
of the Hyperledger Foundation to come up on stage in a room full of Ethereum developers and say that we were going to integrate with Hyperledger. Now, I kind of let the cat out of the bag with that slide. But that was our vision. That was a vision from last year. We got up on stage, we promised, we said we were going to do this. Well, I'm happy to tell you today that in just a few minutes, we're going to have two of Hyperledger's open source team to show a demo of that finally working. This is big for companies and enterprises who are trying to build on top of Hyperledger, and they can get the same tooling experience that developers have for Ethereum. Now, this was the vision of last year. I want to tell you the vision of this year. We're not just, oh man, I keep doing this, people. So we currently support Ethereum, JP Morgan's Quorum, and Axoni's Xcore. In fact, if you saw the Forbes feature last year, or excuse me, earlier this year, then you would have seen the integration that we've done with them. But as of today, I'd like to announce that we have solidified a partnership with Coulter, with R3, makers of Coulter. Phase one of this partnership is to create a Coulter-flavored ganache. So imagine being able to easily spin up a node, a local personal blockchain, that looks and feels and acts like Coulter and gives developers that same experience to quickly develop and test the applications that they're building. Now, our strategy, when we announced the multi-ledger strategy, we didn't just want to be enterprise. We want to support all developers in the blockchain world. We want to be at the forefront of all blockchain development, and we want to ultimately become the blockchain development tool. Now, I usually, when I use the term blockchain, I mean blockchain technology, and blockchain and distributed ledger technology, the whole umbrella. We want to be there. And our next announcement is that we're integrating with Tezos. Tezos represents a step into the public world, or a commitment to public chains. Our commitment to public chains. We want to support the enterprise, we want to support public chains, we want to support everyone who is building on top of any blockchain. And so we're extremely excited to announce that. It sounds like I have some Tezos people up here in the front. That would be my daughter, Sydney. So, as I told you, we announced Hyperledger. I would now like to bring out Swetha and Morgan from IBM and the Hyperledger Foundation to show you their demo.